I've done many things, but I'm still young and I want to do more.
Kylian Mbappe!
Kylian Mbappe!
Pour Kylian Mbappe!
Danger, danger, danger. Caution, caution, caution.
Mbappe, man, I'd pay every day to watch him train, let alone play in a match.
But we're talking about a guy that at any minute can unlock any situation and any defense.
Because Mbappe does things that like other players cannot do.
Somebody who seems semi-human at times because he is so talented.
You know, this is what you want to see. This is why you put your TV on.
He is an all-round superstar.
Best player in the world, maybe the future best player in the world.
I mean, the sky is the limit for him.
Kylian Mbappe, a once-in-a-generation talent in football. Many have described him as the heir to the throne of Ronaldo and Messi. It seemed like nobody could stop him from becoming one of the GOATs. Nobody but himself.
He was 17, and at the end of that training session, we were with each other and we just said, wow, who's that kid? 1v1, scoring goals, not afraid of anything, and we just thought, wow, this kid is special. We could see that.
To play football was my biggest dream. I play when I was a kid. I played football every time with my friend, with my brother, my big brother.
Kylian Mbappe Lutin, who broke Thierry Henry's record for the youngest scorer for Monaco.
He's a fiery talent, and he is remarkable when he gets the ball at his feet.
The young starlet.
This kid is turning into a world beater in front of our eyes. 12 goals in the league, 19 in all competitions, and he only turned 18 in December.
Mbappe burst onto the scene at Monaco, helping them win their first league title in 20 years. But it was in the Champions League, where the Frenchman truly announced himself on the world stage. Practically every big club in the world wanted his signature, but it was here where Mbappe made it clear, nobody will control his destiny but himself.
Paris Saint-Germain have signed the very impressive Kylian Mbappe for a fee of $215 million.
Real Madrid, who'd been chasing him since he was 11, had a deal with Monaco. And Monaco said to Kylian, listen, this is too good for us to turn down. We've decided to sell you to Real Madrid. And Kylian went, whoa, whoa, whoa. Nobody tells me what to do. I decide my own future. They felt betrayed by Monaco. Behind their back, Monaco and Real Madrid had that deal. So they said, we're not going to Madrid.
It was a deal worth 180 million euros. And that's not the sort of money that Real Madrid would be prepared to pay for anybody.
I am a very ambitious player, and I always want to improve.
Because I want always to be at the top.
Paris Saint-Germain are the champions of Ligue 1 for 2017-18.
Everyone knew about his talent, but doing it on the biggest stage of all is another step altogether.
To be 19 years old and taking on that responsibility is huge.
The youngest ever goal scorer at a World Cup for France.
He's got pace to burn. There's probably no quicker player in world football at the moment.
He knew already at that time that he wanted to be one of the best, and he was ready for it.
The belief and the determination to know that this is my stage. Nothing or no one could take that away from him.
He's so exciting to watch. When he moves across the grass, he hardly touches it. He's just like silk the way he plays. He seems to be a level-headed person.
France will take on Croatia in a surprising final match.
The final of the 21st Football World Cup. Here's Mbappe! Oh my word! The first teenage World Cup final goal. France are the champions of the world.
There's no question that in terms of a brand, he is sort of carrying the baton once Lionel Messi and Cristiano pass it on to him. He is the next massive brand.
They're handing the crown over. Yeah, he's the guy who's going to be up there on that podium for the Ballon d'Or.
Young players are not meant to deliver or do this at that age on the world stage.
Seeing the fruition of all this great talent in a game like that at the World Cup, it was impossible not to just think you're watching all-time greatness.
But his hunger for greatness has come at a massive cost.
But there have been some rumblings, of course, regarding the relationship between Thomas Tuchel and some of his stars. These were highlighted when Mbappe was substituted at the weekend, clearly not happy.
You know, how the hell are you supposed to do your job these days with some of these star players? Because they're almost unmanageable.
I don't know if he got a bigger head than he should. So I love him, I love the player, I try to defend him,
but it's getting very, very hard for me.
The 2020 UEFA Champions League final, which, for the first time, has Paris Saint-Germain.
And we can make history tomorrow, so we are ready to do it.
If he's the player we think he is, then he better do it against Bayern.
And Bayern Munich are champions of Europe for the 6th time.
Tonight, he was, let's say, clumsy.
Pretty awful in the fight. He had the best chance of the game and completely fluffed it. He's a World Cup winner.
This was the first notable setback in Mbappe's career, and it was only the latest chapter in a series of unfortunate complications.
After he set the world alight in the 2018 World Cup, I think it's all eyes on Mbappe. I think all of the French hope relies on him.
Saved!
Kylian Mbappe's missed it! He's bloody missed it!
The one man that this whole tournament was all about, but
it really is, on the world stage, the first major setback in his career.
People saying, best player in the world, doesn't score a goal in the whole tournament.
And there was a backlash against him in France. I mean, the first game of PSG season, he was actually booed.
Kylian Mbappe is probably closer now to joining Real Madrid within this summer transfer window.
Contract finishes in June 2022, so that's quite soon. PSG are really hoping that he could extend that deal, but he hasn't done so yet.
He has all the leverage, so he can dictate how this goes if he's that determined.
Mbappe wants to be the main man. You can tell with his ego.
Listen, I think it's a matter of time. The only question that we have is when is it going to be?
Breaking news regarding Messi. He has fully agreed the terms on a 2-year contract to join Paris Saint-Germain.
Mbappe has been asking us, I will extend if you get me a competitive team.
There's no excuse now for PSG not to win the Champions League.
You've also said you want to leave PSG.
I was honest. I gave a feeling, I gave what I have on my heart. But of course I'm happy to stay. I'm happy to stay to play with him.
Messi, Neymar and Mbappe, that trio up front, which are they're absolute world beaters, some of the best players on the planet right now.
Close your eyes and watch your dream for this 2022.
I don't need to close my eyes. I want to win the World Cup and the Champions League.
Mbappe thought he got PSG through when he scored for the 2nd time in the tie. But they capitulated in the second half. They made mistake after mistake.
It's amazing when they had that front three, Messi and Neymar and Mbappe, as talented as it was, you just knew it was never going to win the Champions League.
It was just too many superstars. Who do you get the ball to?
I always thought that great players could do together, could play with anyone, could play with other great players.
This was the best chance to win the Champions League with PSG, but ultimately it was squandered. It seemed inevitable that a move to Real Madrid would finally happen.
One of football's biggest stars, Kylian Mbappe, has signed a new contract with Paris Saint-Germain.
It's a pay package understood to be worth about £4 million a month.
He's basically been handed the keys to the kingdom at PSG in terms of coaches and signings and things like that.
This is now a new galaxy where players are more than just players on the pitch.
They're doubling down on giving Mbappe the power to do everything.
You're giving this guy so much money, the power he'll have in the change room, the say that he'll have.
You better have done your homework in terms of the character of this individual.
His persona is completely out of control. He can pretty much do as he likes.
Mbappe continued to steal the headlines, but always for incidents off the pitch rather than on. Eventually the public began wondering, is he really as good as people claimed? Soon enough, we got the answer.
With the 2022 World Cup final, Lionel Messi versus Kylian Mbappe. Mbappe, already a world champion.
I want superstars to come into this tournament and leave with their reputations enhanced.
France just might. Thuram, Mbappe! Mbappe. Into the galaxy of greats. Argentina, champions of the world.
At this level, once again, he delivered. He did what he could for his team today.
Mbappe scores 3 goals, scores a goal in the penalty shootout in the final and doesn't win the final. It was one of the most amazing games you'll ever see.
He's got a hat-trick in the final. It's just ridiculous. The sky is the limit for him.
But it's great that we know that we're going to see plenty more of him in the year to come.
The 2022 World Cup cemented Mbappe as a player that should never be doubted. He was clearly the best player in the world, and he knew where he belonged.
The way they've handled this whole situation with Mbappe keeps going on. Every season it happens. He could go to Real Madrid next summer on a free.
Major news from France, and Kylian Mbappe has told PSG that he will leave the club.
Kylian Mbappe basically told PSG, I am going to leave in the summer of 2024 on a free transfer. He's going to become a Real Madrid player on the 1st of July.
Kylian Mbappe has joined the 15-time European champions.
And it looks like it's a dream fulfilled for Kylian Mbappe. This is the team he wanted to play for.
He feels like it's the right time to take his career to another dimension, which I understand. I can't blame him for. He's been 7 years with us in Paris.
Is arguably the best player in world football. Joining, arguably, the best team in world football.
Any team in the world takes Kylian Mbappe. He's probably the best player at the moment in the world.
I actually still think Mbappe is the best player in the world.
Mbappe finally got the move he dreamed of, but was he prepared for what was about to come?
Kylian Mbappe absolutely had a shocker in his first Clasico of the season.
Mbappe had an off night, a very off night, right?
The speed that he has, the awareness of that speed that he has, means that surely timing his runs is something that he has been through a million times in his career.
The pressure when you play for Real Madrid or Barca.
It's a lot of pressure coming to a club like Madrid. And
yeah, I think at the moment that's just weighing a little heavy on him.
Real Madrid is not PSG, I can tell you. There is different environment.
You just get the feeling that he would go there, Mbappe, and just mess it up.
How is he going to balance that team?
Vinicius Junior plays on the left side, Kylian Mbappe is the best. In that same position,
he just looks stiffer, to be honest with you. He doesn't look as explosive off the mark.
He's sort of dribbling the ball out of defence. And he must have thought he had all the time in the world.
Even the way he's approaching his penalties, it doesn't feel like he believes it. And for a player that used to play with so much swagger and carried such an aura about him, it's a weird sight to see, man.
He's not the Kylian Mbappe of when he was 2018, who played for France, who was just unreal.
it's not the Mbappe that I saw like 2 or 3 years ago. For sure, it's not. He's not explosive anymore. He tries too much to force.
French fans is really bad, you know, when you talk about Kylian Mbappe because they don't like him anymore.
This is the time where you have to win the Ballon d'Ors as the best player in the world. You have to win the Champions League. You have to cement yourself as the best player in the world.
And the way Mbappe's going, he will be remembered as a great player, but he's never going to be an all-time great.
The pressure that he holds because of how good he is huge, you know, it's humongous. And
his standards are so high, aren't they? Because he's so unbelievably good.
They're different. And so we evaluate him on greatness.
It's a lot of pressure for a young kid like that to handle. Because
but the greats handle it.
They do.
So
absolutely do.
This can, you know, elevate him.
I think for a long time it didn't seem possible that anybody could reach the levels of Messi and Ronaldo. But we have someone in Mbappe who has that chance.
I did some things, of course, but that's the past, and I just watch what I have in the future, and I want really to improve my game, to be a better player every year, and to be the player who I want to be.